Call the Basehor Planning Commission to order. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call. Jim? Here. Dennis?
Here.
Tom?
Here.
Let the record show Stacy is absent. Blake? Here. Cecil?
Yes, here.
Item 3, approval of minutes. Do we have any changes, modifications? Corrections?
Mr. Chairman, I move for approval of the Basehor Planning Commission minutes for the meeting of February 13, 2024.
I'll second. All in favor, Cecil?
Yes. Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Jenna?
Yes.
Jim? Yes. I vote yes. 6-0. Do we have any declarations concerning the issue tonight? Item 4, Planning Director's Report.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and Planning Commission. Thank you for being here. On the agenda this evening, we have one item, just the rezoning request. We will not have a Planning Commission next month, but we will have not the August 3rd work session, the April 3rd work session at 6 p.m. I don't really have anything else other than that. Thank you.
Thank you. Item 5. PRZ-001-24. Consider rezoning of 2944/2940 North 155th Terrace, a duplex from R1 residential single family to R2 residential 2-family.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is case number PRZ-001-24. The request for the rezoning from the R1 zoning district to the R2 zoning district is being made by Mr. and Mrs. Turner. They are the property owners of the duplex that sits on these two lots 4 and 5. This property, the duplex was built more than 50 years ago prior to the city of Basehor having adopted a zoning code. When a zoning code was adopted, this part of town was adopted as the R1 zoning district. R1 zoning only allows for single family residences. It does not allow for duplexes. This is an area where there are several duplexes surrounding Mr. Turner's property. All of those are also zoned currently as R1. Please don't ask me how that happened because I don't know, but that's obviously what happened here. The R2 zoning district allows for single family homes and attached single family homes, so duplexes, which is what is located here. Mr. Turner is simply requesting to be able to rezone his property from the R1 zoning district to the R2 zoning district. He is in the process of attempting to sell this property, and the bank called and said, hey, if this property were to burn down, could it be rebuilt as it is today? And the answer is, well, technically no, because the zoning is not correct, which is why he has brought this forward. I'll briefly go through the factors to be considered. These are the items that the Planning Commission must consider when they are making a recommendation for a rezoning. The first is the character of the neighborhood. Again, this neighborhood is primarily residential, mostly mostly duplex style living in this area. Zoning and uses of nearby property. The lots to the north are zoned as R2, which is the same zoning district, and the homes there are mostly 2-family residential. The lots to the south are zoned as R1, but are a mix of 1 and 2 family residential. Suitability of the property for the uses to which it has been restricted is not well suited for this use. As I said, it would not be able to be rebuilt in its current configuration. The duplex was built, like I said, 50 years ago prior to the zoning designation, and it's been used as a 2-family duplex for those 50 years. Extent to which removal of the restrictions will detrimentally affect nearby property. The removal of these restrictions, i.e. rezoning the property, is very unlikely to detrimentally affect nearby property, as most of the nearby property is also duplexes. Length of time the property has been vacant is zoned. It is not vacant. Relative gain to the economic development, public health, safety, and welfare. Granting this rezoning would allow the home to be rebuilt as a two-family residence in the event that the home is destroyed. Conformance to the comprehensive plan. The future land use map does actually identify this area as medium density residential, which loosely corresponds to our R2 zoning district. And staff recommendation is for the approval of this request. I do want to make sure that it's known that this rezoning request would not allow for apartments to be built. This is simply single family residence and attached single family residences, so duplexes. That is what the R2 zoning district allows for. I again recommend approval of this. Mr. Turner is here and will answer any questions that you may have. This does require a public hearing. With that, I'll turn it over to you, Mr. Chairman.
Any questions for anybody?
The only question I have is kind of not, it's sort of related to this, but then not in this matter. The other houses or the other duplexes that are zoned R1 in the area, is the city planning to do anything about changing that zoning?
Not currently, no.
Is that something that has to be requested by the individual owners?
It doesn't necessarily have to be requested by the individual property owners, but that's definitely the preferable way to handle it.
Okay.
Entertain a motion for public hearing. Mr. Chairman, I move to open public hearing for PRZ 00124 to consider rezoning of 2940 North 155th Terrace, a duplex from R1 residential single family to R2 residential two family.
I'll second.
All in favor, Blake? Aye. Tom?
Aye.
Janice?
Aye.
Jim?
Yes.
Cecil?
Yes,
Yes, public hearing is now open. Do we have anyone that would like to speak to this issue? Hearing. Oh.
I'm Robert Chadwick. I live at 642 McGrantwood in Bonner Springs. I'm a real estate agent that's involved in this transaction. And as you spoke, I had approached the city saying, is this something the city should look into? The 9 duplexes immediately behind this house, which I know a few of the owners are all sitting there as R1. And probably unbeknownst to them, should they have an issue such as a fire, they very well could be called in to not be compliant with the zoning rules as it is. So I do think that the city ought to consider something like that. I know I went with a process with the Turner to get this done, and it's lengthy, but to have every single one of those individuals do that along that line, I think it would be a nice gesture for the city, and also to correct some of that long-term issues, is to bulk the R1 that is in that little pocket there. There's brand new across the street, brand new on the opposite side of the street of 156 that would be wise to do, because those owners do not realize their insurance is possibly in jeopardy on those properties.
Since you're a real estate agent, you
Yes.
might have the answer to this. Since the bank, if I understood correctly, the bank is the one that brought the issue.
Actually, it's the appraiser
Okay.
for the bank that called the city to verify the zoning because of what he got on his paperwork. From the county, it says it's R1.
Okay.
And so he brought it up to say it's a non-conforming. Non-conforming is an issue with insurance, and the city requirements is of if it burnt down or burnt at least 50% down, couldn't be replaced as the type of building it was. And so it started with something that's totally unsuspected to us. And I just sold one of these units, 3 units to the north this last summer, and it was zoned R2. And there's a couple right on the same street that aren't, including this one, and then like 9 on the backside off of 156.
Okay, thank you. We have anyone else who would like to speak? Entertain a motion to close the public hearing. Mr. Chairman, I move we close the public hearing.
I'll second.
All in favor, Cecil? Yes.
Yes.
Janice?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Blake? Yes. Yes, public hearing is closed. Any further discussion?
So with regard to the gentleman's comment, could that be done in a bulk? I'm just curious, or do they have to individually apply for change?
No, it
Is
could,
happening here?
yeah, that's a great question. It could be done in bulk, and that's certainly something that I can speak to the city administrator about. It would require, obviously, we would need to notify all of the property owners.
Yeah.
Not all the property owners may necessarily want that.
Yeah.
Of course, they may very well, but there is a lengthy process to that also. For us to do that. It is something that could be done.
Yeah, thank you.
It couldn't be done in bulk.
No, it could be done in bulk. Yes, it could be. And
If
just,
they all,
yeah, and just to clarify, Mr. Chadwick brings up a perfectly valued and poignant point there, but if something like that were to happen, and God forbid that it did, but if something like that were to happen, there is a process in place there. The kind of the emergency process we would take it through as quickly as we possibly could if something like that were to happen to one of these homes. I have been in that situation before in a previous employment, and yeah, it's it is unfortunate, but staff would certainly not drag their feet on anything like that.
but if a duplex burned and the property owner wanted to rebuild as a single family, they couldn't do it if it's R2 then.
Oh, no, they
They
can.
could.
They can, yes. Yes. Mhm. It's a single family or an R2.
Okay. We'll entertain a motion.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, I recommend approval of case number PRZ 00124, rezoning request from R1 single family residential to R2 two-family residential with findings of fact.
My second.
All in favor? Blake?
Aye.
Tom?
Aye.
Janice?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Diesel?
Yes.
6-0. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Item 6.
This item will go to the city council. Not for official adoption. Tomorrow it will be the the fourth Wednesday of the month before it goes for final adoption, but it'll go to the work session tomorrow. So, okay. You're welcome.
Item 6, open agenda, we have none. Item 7, reports from special committees, we have none. Item 8, development report.
Oh, and here I just closed it. All right. Year to date, we have issued 12 building permits for single family residential. This time last year, we were at 5. We have not issued any multifamily residential year to date, but we are coming right along.
For basically 2 months. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good, especially at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Thank Mother Nature for the good weather.
I know.
Crystal, is it in our realm, or would it be possible to also do commercial permits?
Yeah.
So I think that's gonna start happening more and more, right?
Absolutely. I
It'll
sure
be
hope you're
interesting to
right.
Follow.
Good idea.
We will do that. For sure.
Entertain a motion to adjourn.
I want to go home. I'm moving. We do.
Second.
All in favor? Cecil?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Dennis?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Blake? Yes, I vote yes. Planning Commission meeting is